right, let's just talk a little bit about this new method, different than washers and discs, that we're going to call it shells, cylindrical shells. And I'm going to start with an example and just develop the idea of cylindrical shells using this example. We're going to start again with the square root function and the region bounded by the square root function, the x-axis, and the line y equals 5. I think I meant x equals 4. Sorry, I meant x equals 4. So let me erase that. That should be x. Oops, I can't erase it. Oh, that's okay. I can add x equals 4. So here's the line x equals 4. And we're going to revolve this region over the y-axis. Now, we could certainly do this problem with washers. We could. We're not going to, but we could. And the last 2 videos that I'm uploading, you will see the same problem completed with washers and with shells, and you'll kind of get a sense of when shells might be easier to use than washers. Sorry. There we go. I tried. Okay, so what goes on with shells? We take the region and we partition it into pieces. And we take one such piece, one such subinterval, and it's a rectangle, and I'm rotating that over the y-axis to create a very thin shell. And by shell, I want you to think about, oh, it's a little bit crooked, but I want you to think about a Campbell's soup can and the label of a Campbell's soup can, because that's what this is. This is a very, very thin shell that's going to eventually, the more shells we have, it's going to construct the actual solid. And I will show you on Thursday, I'm going to show you some animations to help you see how this works. So I'm not going to do a whole lot with shells today, but I wanted to at least introduce the concept, the idea. And so imagine, right, that we have a soup can that looks like this, and we peel off the label of that soup can. Well, the label is very, very, very thin. When we peel it off, we get a rectangle, right? The soup can's label is just a rectangle that has a very, very thin thickness, but it definitely has a little thickness. That little thickness, you might guess, is our little delta x, delta y. In this case, in the drawing that I have, because we partitioned first this region, right, we partition, and the thickness is a little delta x thickness. So that's a delta x. And so when you peel off the soup can label, it's that thickness that is our delta x. And so we want the volume of this thing. What is its volume? Because those are the things that we're going to add up. How do we find this volume? Well, notice that for the volume, well, we have the thickness. This is the height of the shell. I'm just going to call it h here. That's the height here. And we need the length. We need, what is this length? Well, that length comes from having cut the label. Those are my scissors. It looks like a bow, but they're scissors. Having cut the label of the soup can and laid it out, which means that that length wraps around the circle. So it should be 2 pi times the radius of the circle, because that is the circumference. That's what we mean by wrapping around the circle. This length is going to be the circumference of the circle. So the volume of one of these shells is 2 pi r times the height times the little delta x. That's the volume. Those are the things we've got to add up and take the limit as the thickness goes to 0, and we create an integral. In this case, for this example, it's going to be an integral from 0 to 4, because we're going to just partition this region from 0 to 4, and that's how we create those shells. So we're going to need volume. Volume's going to be integral, in this case, from 0 to 4. in this case, we have 2 pi. We're going to need the radius, and I'll show you how to find that. We're going to need the height, and we know that as the number of pieces goes to infinity, that little delta x becomes dx. And so let's think about, where does the radius come from? Where does the height come from? If we go back, you can see here the height of this shell is on the function. If I take this shell instead, the one that's made from that piece, right, the height is the function value. So this is going to be f of x. In this case, notice we're revolving about the y, and I'm setting up an integral with respect to x. That is the opposite of what we were doing with shells, with washers and discs. So pay attention to that, because it's going to help us figure out when to use which method. Okay, but here our height is f of x. What is the radius? Well, the radius, I'm going to draw it in green in the drawing, is just that length. So for this value of x, that's the radius. If I use a bigger shell, the one that has the height in blue, that's going to be the radius for that value of x. Maybe x1, maybe x2. If I make a smaller shell, I'm going to make this one in red. So just focus on the red shell that I'm making. The radius is still going to be green. It's going to be that x value. So for specific x value that I pick to make the shell, the radius is just x. So this radius will be x. All right, this is very promising. The height is the function value. The radius, if we're revolving over the y-axis, so this is revolve over y-axis, set up in terms of x. That's a good note to make here, set up in terms of x. I'm going to write WRT for with respect to x, right? That's the opposite of washers and discs. And we have a 2 pi that comes from that circumference. So in general, so let's write it for this one. Our volume's going to be integral from 0 to 4. I can pull out the 2 pi. The radius is x. The height here is the function value, which is the square root of x dx. And you can see this is just going to be a power rule problem again. I really wanted instead for us to focus on the setup. So volume, revolve about the y-axis. Let's just generalize here, and then I'll probably stop tonight and start with this work on Thursday at the beginning of class. Revolve about the y-axis, set up in terms of x. In general, we'll always have that 2 pi on the outside that comes from the circumference. A to B, this should be radius, height, dx. If we're revolving over, so in detail here, if we're revolving over the y-axis specifically, then radius equals x. And height equals f of x. All right, 1. The second one is when we revolve, and again, I will show you some visuals on Thursday, but now we're going, what happens when we revolve over the x-axis? So 2, revolve over the x-axis. This is the opposite as before. I've said it a couple of times, but I can't see you. Revolve over the x-axis, set up in terms of y. So the volume will be 2 pi integral from C to D, still radius times height, and then this will be a dy. But if we're revolving over the x-axis, the radius, I'll show you this on Thursday, radius is y, height is f of y. And there it is. That is the shell method. If you feel up for it and you still have energy after all these videos, you can, I did record a couple of more examples that just is one problem. The first example is the problem done with washers. The second example is the same problem but completed with shells. So here's volume with shells and just a quick summary at the bottom.